So in which part of the iOS system did you find the new vulnerability to exploit? Because you didn't announce it during the presentation.
Yeah. Once again, this isn't the same user process. It's in Raccoon again. There's a vulnerability in this piece of IPsec tool. This is not. This is only a part of it, because we also had trouble this time with ASLR. So we found a way to prove ASLR, and also we have we use another kernel exploit this time related to a BSD packet filter.
Okay.
Presented by latest presentation.
What?
I mean the packet filter that Esso presented. Stefan Esso.
Stefan Essen?
Yeah.
Ionic.
He mentioned a packet filter bug in his presentation.
Yeah.
No, this is not his.
Okay.
This is another one.
Okay. A question. The kernel is currently lacking NX support, or the greatest part, and you're using that to patch the code signing part, kernel code part. Do you think Apple will use NX anytime soon to protect the code segments in the kernel?
Not sure of this. One thing that is sure is that they'll come with kernel side, kernel address space randomization also. They already did that in the beta version of Montaigne client, and they will do that again in iOS 6, I think so.
Just to clarify, you mean W or X, not NX, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sure.
So when do you think Apple will fix the problem you just published? Because last time they were probably very quick with patching the problem in iOS. Do you expect that they will be as quick again?
You mean for the release of today? Of course, they're gonna patch things. The Raccoon one, the kernel one, of course. I'm not sure they will release a new version of iOS just for this point. They just wait for iOS 6, because this is only a local vulnerability. It's not a remote. So there is no reason they would have to speed up things to release a new minor version of the operating system.
Yes, and since we already expect like a beta version of iOS 6 will pretty soon come out, well, they might push out a fix, but I really don't expect it really soon. Well, so it might get a fix, but not really soon.
The kernel exploit requires root, and the other exploit to inject a kernel exploit, it requires is a local vulnerability. So it seems unlikely. It's not critical.
The most recent jailbreaks have all been userland jailbreaks. Are you guys still looking at the boot ROM, researching that?
I can say that boot ROM is pretty closed in terms of vulnerabilities. There are a lot of people watching this little piece of code, and I guess there's no more exploits to find in this one. Maybe we could find one in the rest of the bootloader in iBoot, or maybe even earlier. I don't know. But for me, the boot ROM is kind of closed right now.
Okay, and I heard in an interview yesterday you guys already mentioned something about the iOS 6 jailbreak. I know today we're talking about 5.1.1, but you apparently are working on that. Is there anything you can say about that already without giving too much away?
We are not actually working on that, but it's always good to have some exploits like somewhere in the drawer to pull them out when we face a new version. So we have different exploits that might still work on a new iOS version because we did not release it. So there's a good chance that we can use some of them. And this is why it would maybe also apply for iOS 6. We will see that.
And I had a question for the time being. I know you've been in the scene a long time, and for a while you sort of left the scene. Are you back to stay?
As long as there's interesting projects and I'm not too busy. Yeah, I don't know. It's impossible to say. Like, Pod2G keeps dragging me back in for the last couple of times. So
yes,
maybe it'll continue.
but I hope this will happen again.
It's
in the
just
future.
we need to make it interesting for him. He will automatically follow and finish his job. So, yeah. It will work again, I'm pretty sure.
So do you guys ever get bored with iOS hacking, or is it something you will want to keep doing for the rest of iOS? As long as it keeps it existing, because it's a battle, right? So
Yeah, it's a battle. It's a cat and mouse game. Yeah, but it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
It's probably a little too interesting, such that
Why?
when we're working on it, it's really exhausting. I mean, when I'm working on jailbreak, sometimes, you know, I don't sleep for a few days or eat for a few days. And that's why I quit for a while, because it's just sometimes a little bit too much.
Okay, but it's still the challenge that keeps you guys, and probably the interest in your work, right?
Yeah, we are really interested. We are, this is our hobby, and we are passionate by this stuff. So next time they'll reach the bar. I mean Apple will reach the bar even more, and this is another challenge, and I'm sure we'll be there for this one.
So is the time increasing between each jailbreak you guys find because of the protection measures Apple is taking, or it's still the same?
Yeah, the level is increasing each time. So sometimes we have luck, so it is very quick. Sometimes we have no luck, and we can find the right vulnerabilities in the right time. So it can take long, of course. Yeah, but yeah, the tendency, I would say that I think it will get more and more difficult in the future, and it will take more and more time to do jailbreaks. Yeah, this is the point.
Do you ever have contact with Apple about this? Did they reach out and say, hey guys, stop, or?
No.
Did they offer you a job? Yeah, did they want to hire you?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
They don't talk a word.
Would you like Apple to approach you and to be more open about the problems in their software?
Yeah, I would like to, yes.
Why?
Yeah, I would like to know what they think about this, if they're interested by us searching for vulnerabilities in a way for them, or how do they feel when we release jailbreaks like this. Yeah, I have tons of questions to add.
Have any of you tinkered with like Android or Windows Phone 7 or any other devices?
I don't ever.
I'm not really interested.
Yeah, we're kind of Apple fans, you know, so talking about Windows, yeah.
One can say that jailbreaking is irresponsible exploit exposure, and that you should tell Apple about the problem so that they can fix it before you release it to the public, so that everyone has a vulnerable device. Why do you think that releasing a jailbreak is like the ethic choice over responsible exposure?
I don't see it's not a good idea to release vulnerabilities, because it's just like Apple is actually controlling what the users are allowed to do with their devices, and you pay like a couple of $100 for your mobile, and I think you should be allowed to do things with it you actually want. So, well, I don't think it's responsible. That's my opinion.
And I mean, most of the stuff we released are completely like local vulnerabilities. There's no way for a remote attacker without physical access to your phone to be able to leverage these vulnerabilities in any way that we can see. And if they already have physical access to your phone, then, you know, in our opinion, it's already game over. So it doesn't seem like it's terribly irresponsible of us to allow people to leverage these vulnerabilities to have control over their own devices.
I have a question here from Twitter. Someone's asking how you guys deal with all the pressure from everyone on the internet and on Twitter to release the jailbreak you're working on.
Not well. We feel the pressure sometimes.
We just don't deal with it. We try to avoid and to forget about this.
We will ignore Twitter.
We actually just mostly ignore it because we cannot respond to every request. Hey, when do you release it? It's actually not pushing us in any way because we need to finish it to just work and not finish it because someone wants to have it. So if we finish it under pressure, it would be maybe not really safe to apply it. So, yeah.
So, but do the negative comments get to you of people who don't really understand the kind of work that goes into a project like this?
We sometimes read them, yes, but well, it doesn't really touch us, I think.
No, we don't. We don't because we're trying to release this stuff as soon as we can. So seeing tweets saying, "Hey guy, could you release a jailbreak right now?" Just means nothing for us.
Yes.
And also people just insulting us in a way. Just we don't care. They are bad people anyway.
The good people way outnumber the bad anyway.
Yeah.
We get a lot more compliments.
Yeah.
There are many people that really understand that this is not easy anymore, and that well, they are fine if it takes a little bit longer until they release. So I think it's a growing number of people that really understand that that's quite a lot of work.
And because of it's so much work, you still plan to offer it for free in the future? Or will there ever be a point that you say maybe we have to charge people for it because it takes too much of our time?
No, we won't ever charge for jailbreak. We already thought of this, and we are confident it's a bad idea, and we won't change it in any way.
So, do you guys earn money by doing this?
Pocket money.
Yeah, some.
Pocket money.
Some
actually,
because there are AdSense on the website.
Yeah.
There are some donations, so we have to earn some money with the jailbreak.
Yeah, but I'm asking because it takes you a lot of time and.
Well, we have costs too. We have a lot of server costs.
Yeah.
We use a lot of bandwidth sometimes when we have a release.
I wouldn't say that monetary gain is the primary motivation
No,
because
it's not.
for a
No,
long
okay,
time,
it's not.
for a long time, the iPhone dev team, we didn't take any donations and we had no AdSense, so we absolutely had no money coming in, and yet we did it for years anyways. It's mostly about the process being fun, and we wanted to help people out.
It's for the credit, and you can probably use that as leverage, right?
Well, leverage to do what? I mean,
No, to get a good coded job, or I don't know.
well, I mean,
It's a bonus.
I don't know if anyone goes into jailbreaking thinking that they're going to like use it to increase their resume or anything like that. Like it's, I mean, I think it definitely does, but it's not something that, you know, you go jailbreak and I do it
It's not like, well, I need something better for my resume, so let's go jailbreak something.
Yes, that would probably be a not very wise proposition because you wouldn't be sure that you could do it in the first place.
Sure.
I understood this conference is the first time that you actually met all 5 of you together in real life. How has that been? Have there been any surprises or?
Yes, I think so. because it's really the fact is that we well, except some of the people who already were seen in public, we do not know how we look each other so well. When we waited for 2G at the central station, we thought, who might he be? With the car? Yeah, like we think of a typical Frenchman, so we just didn't know. So
He didn't wear a beret.
yeah, not a real surprise though, but well, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So are you still surprised with all the attention for your work? I mean, even the press conference here, and I mean, the lectures you gave were really crowded. Does it still surprise you that so many people show up to listen to what you have to say?
Yes, we're really surprised of it. And we're really proud of it also, and yes, this is nice. Why it is so mediatic? No, what is it?
Popular?
Hmm?
Popular?
Popular, yes.
Yeah.
Why is it so popular? Yeah, I have no clue. Maybe because the jailbreak touched like 300 million people in the world.
We have an idea of the popularity by our statistics on the website. But when you come to an event like this, really it's hard. You know, I mean, people really want this stuff, you know, and it's out there and people like it, you know.
They also
and
come
that
up to
drives
you.
us.
They also come up to you and
Yeah.
like you really
Can
got
you sign
fans?
our device?
For sure. Yeah, really.
OPK, didn't you mention that it's trending right now?
Sorry?
On Twitter? Isn't it
Yeah,
worldwide
and
trending?
this is like the first time we've ever trended worldwide on Twitter.
Yeah, this is also very impressive.
Witnessing history.
How do you see the future of the jailbreak in devices to come?
That in one point in the future, I think maybe it will be so hard to counter all the security measures Apple come with, that maybe will be just blocked in a way. And at that time, maybe Apple to be competitive against Android will change its politics to allow unsigned code. This is what I imagine that will happen in the future.
What do you guys think about jailbreak scams? Are they
Jailbreak
profitable?
scams?
Yeah. Our Apple department has been fighting a crusade against them.
The bane of our existence, really. They're hard to deal with. I've tried to deal with them on a few different levels, and we just can't do anything about it. It's apart from educating people to just steer away from it, and we try and get out there as much as we can that we will never charge for a jailbreak. So don't ever be fooled by any scam site saying it's Absinthe or whatever, because like Pop 2G said, we will never ever charge this jailbreak. So, as long as people can get that message, then I think that's the most we can do. You know, I can't hunt down every one of these scammers one by one.
There's a certain conflict in what you do, in the sense that the jail processes also provide a matter of security for these devices. And now, although I'm here during the day, my actual day job is being a security officer. So in a sense, you've given me freedom on my own phone and a security problem.
Yeah.
Because now Apple is not this proprietary device that's hard to compromise, or it's a little easier to compromise for people with bad intentions as well. What's your opinion on that?
It's easier to compromise. A jailbroken device is easier to compromise, at least locally. Remotely, this is a little different. But I'm not sure this is really an issue, because even if a jailbroken device is a little weaker than an unjailbroken device, it's still a very secure platform. And what we're doing here is not an easy task. This is how I feel about this.
And actually,
You do
it's
the hard work, somebody else doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
well, okay.
Well, I don't think it decreases, you know, the security on a jailbroken device below that of any regular computer. I mean, our laptops allow unsigned code, and we're free to download whatever we want onto our computers. So, I'm not sure why phones are necessarily held to us higher standards when our computers have all our emails and records as well. And also our iPhone backups with all the personal data that's already on our phones. But it's certainly something that we can actually probably improve someday. There's no reason why we can't reinforce the permissions, the security measures on the iPhone, but under the control of the end user. But it's something that's not as fun to do, so we haven't spent a lot of time trying to re-implement those security protections.
In the end, it's actually on the responsibility of the user to like change his SSH password or do not install packages from untrusted sources. I'm talking Absinthe because basically everybody can just make his own repository and well, tell over the internet about it, so people can install some whatever package. So it's a bit of well, it's the end user who has to decide what he brings to his device in the end. So yeah,
Typical question.
it's difficult, yes. But I also think maybe in Cydia it might be at some time sometime in the future we might get some control of maybe trusted sources, how in a very simple way. So like, I don't know, maybe with a certificate or whatever, to just give the user some like official repositories.
Well, there are.
Well, yeah, there are official repositories, but I mean, they actually do not differ from like a private repository from someone else. So they do not show any identity or whatever. It's just an English repository. If you know them, of course, you know those are trusted usually, but well.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure what kind of protections there are. I do believe that the packages are all signed by the repository, and there's some sort of key on the Debian app
Yeah,
system.
they are actually signed. That's correct. Yes. Yeah, indeed.
Does it make your job easier that jailbreaking is legally allowed? I mean, would you still be doing it, for example, if it's forbidden in the United States or in France?
Can I add something to the question? Because it's exempted from the DMCA, but just for iPhones, like for iPads and Apple TVs, they're not exempted from the DMCA. Do you worry about that?
Well, yeah. It was. I don't think the correct way to look at it is that it was illegal, and now with the DMCA exemption, it is legal or anything like that. I think, you know, this kind of case law and circumvention case law in the United States is always based on the particular facts of the case. So it should be very difficult to find out if our particular action is legal or illegal, precisely because there's tons of gray areas. And
But are you worried about it?
not really, because Apple hasn't so much as sent us a cease and desist in all the years that we've been doing this. So it doesn't really seem like they are willing to legally pursue this, as long as we don't overstep certain boundaries. For example, you know, start packaging malwares in jailbreak or something like that.
And would it matter for you, for example, would you go underground to keep on jailbreaking if it becomes illegal, for example?
sure everything goes underground once it becomes illegal.
It sort of was when it started, in a way, because no one was really sure. Some of us being in different countries are a bit more concerned than others.
Do you think jailbreaking has benefited Apple in some ways? Like your ingenuity with, the apps, app stores?
For Apple, actually they should be happy that there are jailbreaks because we actually do research for them for free.
The cheapest
We
R&D department ever.
research vulnerabilities, they would have to actually pay someone to find them. So it's, well, yeah.
Yeah.
We help them and they should be happy. So I think also that's actually the reason why they do not really try to sue someone for that.
I think they are happy with you guys.
Yeah.
You make it
of
safe.
course.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
They are really happy because, as I said, it's free security research, and security research is not cheap, it's expensive.
You also see that certain applications, like now I think since iOS 5, finally since iOS 4, finally the camera is accessible from the lock screen. Previously, to accomplish that, you had to jailbreak your phone and download a custom application.
Yeah.
So in a sense, you see that stuff that's first invented in jailbroken applications then comes
There have been a few
legal
tweaks.
applications then comes to
Yeah.
legal
Wi-Fi
applications.
born like that. Yeah. There have been a few tweaks that have been born like that.
The notification center also came from the tweaks, in a way.
Wi-Fi sync.
There are several things that, well, actually the jailbreak was really useful for, later resulted in things got implemented into the official iOS.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget that before there was even an app store, there was, the jailbroken world had Cydia, had the app store,
Yeah.
had an installer where you can install apps directly live onto the iPhone. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think,
Even did give them business model.
Right.
You give 30 cents for each.
Yeah.
Guys, we have about 3 more minutes. Any more last questions?
I have a question. When the Shatter boot ROM exploit was leaked, you probably heard information sharing within the iOS hacking community, but now there's a team with sort of a mix between Chronic dev and iPhone dev.
Yeah.
Has the damage that was done, has that been restored? Or is it just a very closely knit group of guys who trust each other?
We don't really know who leaked this information. We absolutely don't know.
We don't blame we don't particularly blame each other, like point the finger like he leaked it or it's been leaked. We don't know who leaked it, but it doesn't affect our relationship.
Could have been nice because Apple fixed LimeRain, but maybe they could have just forget to fix the other issue that Shatter relied on. Something like this. I don't know. Maybe they could. In a way, maybe Shatter wouldn't have been possible to use because they would have fixed LimeRain, and they would have fixed Shatter at the same time. So we don't know. We don't know if it's really a big deal or not. That Shatter was leaked by the past. We don't know. Anyway, it's a basketball game.
No, I just meant if you guys are as willing to share information with other iOS researchers because some this one time something went wrong and made obviously.
Yeah, we changed the way we control information, of course. We have now different rooms in our IRC server, thanks to OK. And we control the persons that are in these rooms. We take care. And now, when I find something, I would say I render this information public to other members when we're close to release, and I need their help. But I try to not talk about what the vulnerabilities I find, and others members do the same.
Yeah, generally you want to keep this information to a need-to-know basis. If there's no reason for someone to know it, then it would be more difficult for them to accidentally or not accidentally leak something if they don't know about it.
So how many downloads do you expect? More or less.
Actually, hard to say.
Something like
8,700 people on the site right now.
How many?
8,761 people on the site right now.
Do you have any idea of that? Millions or?
Millions, definitely.
There will be millions.
Yeah, I think we've cracked the million.
Hard to say, but
Yeah, sure.
it will.
Well, sorry, it says there's like 15 million jailbreaking devices in the world
In
right
the
now.
past, it's been around sort of 500,000 would be the rough estimate.
The number of
This one's
jailbreak users is increasing.
Yeah. It becomes more and more popular, as you said, and so yeah, we reached the million.
You can just count how many iPhones are around in the
Yeah.
store. It's pretty obvious.
Very quick question. Was it coincidence that your server was down just as you wanted to release the new one? There's some speculation about it going on.
I think it was coincidence.
Yes.
I looked at it, and we use Apache npm pre-fork, and there was 150 processes, and all of them were using about 2% CPU, but that was enough to take CPU to 100%. So I don't know why that happened, but we restarted it and it was fun. So.
Any more questions? Just ask. May I have the last question?
Sure.
Have you guys visited the Apple Store here yet?
No.
We drove past it and sort of in the tram and
Well,
We
one of-
heard
broke their
that
necks.
one of the best Apple Store in the world.
We
Is it?
sent one of our crew members there to get some stuff, and when they found out that we are from the HITV conference, they gave our crew like, and then they were like, can you please send the team guys over to us? And they show us all their jailbroken devices. Thank you so much, everyone.
Still missing one device for the current